After a thrilling win against the Clippers Thursday night at Chase Center in their home opener, the Warriors take their act up I-80 to the capital city, Sacramento, to go to One Center where they'll take on the Sacramento Kings as we welcome everybody to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business, alongside the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, former Warrior and NBA champ Durrell Wright, I'm Bonte Hill and Mully. They don't have Run Team C up there. They have a little Run TDD. Tyrese, De'Aaron, and Davion Mitchell.
Very impressive trio, very talented. They can play offense, they can play defense. They're a beautiful fit together. Tonight, a big challenge against Steph, Draymond, and the championship DNA of the Warriors.
There's no doubt about that. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton was in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, and Davion Mitchell, we'll break him down a little bit later. And Darrell, what about pranks? Klay Thompson got pranked. He gets pranked yesterday because he was complaining about the All-75 75th anniversary team. Can you tell me a little something about pranks?
Man, listen, this is family TV, so I can't even get into the stuff Shaq used to do to us as rookies. But my all-time favorite prank is popcorn in the rookie's car.
What you got, Bully, about pranks? Come on. Or you guys can just tell me off air.
Hey,
I'll let the listeners know.
Don't sleep on number 77, Big George Murasan. Come on, man.
And there's that man right there, Stephen Curry. Mully predicted Steph will score 50 on Thursday. He gave us 45. We'll hear from Darrell Stradamus coming up later here on Warriors Pregame Live.
Warriors Pregame Live is presented by Comcast Business.
Against the Clippers, 8 threes, and he came out hot. He came out and set the tone, and then he finished the show, Darrell.
Yeah, he had a great night, and that's what we expected. You know, every time Steph Curry has a tough night of shooting, we can always count on him to have a big night the following night. We didn't know it was going to happen in the first quarter, but Steph Curry set the tone, and it made everybody in the building feel good.
He played a great game against the Lakers, just didn't shoot the ball well. So that's just a nightmare for the next opponent. And he came out in that first quarter against the Clippers and was perfect. 25 points, 10 for 10. But he saved his best for last. Those last 2 3-point shots he made to seal the game were just demoralizing. And shots most mortals don't even think to take it.
No doubt about that. Let's take a look at his all-time numbers here in quarters. That was his 11th 20-point quarter in the first quarter and 35 overall. And look, he's one behind the great Kobe Bryant for most 20-point quarters in the regular season since 1996. That is some pretty damn good company, D, right?
Man, yes, it is. All hoopers, all guys that can fill the stat sheet up. Kobe Bryant, we can't even forget about him even scoring 81 points in a game.
Let's hear from Draymond Green on Stephen Curry and on that night against the LA Clippers.
It's an incredible player. A joy to play with. He makes the game. He gives everybody an opportunity to put themselves in a position to be successful on the offensive end with the attention that he draws. So it was incredible to see. And obviously, enjoy playing with the guy because he's incredible.
I mean, obviously knowing someone has it going, no matter who it is, but I mean, it's Stephen Curry. So when he has it going, trying to be able to find him.
Earn confidence from the work you put in. It's always the message of the next shot's going in or the next game's going to be a good game or what have you.
Speaking of Stephen Curry, we'll hear from him a little bit later. We'll have a lot more on Stephen Curry in that game against the LA Clippers this past Thursday night. But let's check out the game-winning vision of Damian Lee, brought to you by VSP Vision Care. He knows how to play alongside Stephen Curry. If he gives you the ball, you get it right back to him, Mully.
Well, once you advance the ball, you know Steph Curry's going to continue to move. That's why he's the scorer that he is. He can play off the dribble, play without the basketball, but his teammates know when that ball advances, the defender for a quick second is going to take his eye off him, and that's when Steph Curry relocates, knocks it down.
And that's what makes him so deadly. He moves without the basketball, which is a lost art in the game. Guys, pass the ball and they just stand there. Steph Curry is always on the move, always coming off 3 or 4 screens, and that's what makes him so deadly around the perimeter.
And he takes everything to the next level. You heard Draymond talk about how he includes his teammates and creates opportunities. And we talked about getting the Chase Center crowd involved after that perfect first quarter. remember him getting the fans involved.
Yeah.
So he even got the fans involved along with his teammates.
It also helps that Damian Lee hit 2 big threes in that fourth quarter Thursday night against the LA Clippers. Damian Lee off to a strong start. Clutch D. Lee here, 15 points against the LA Lakers. Remember last season, game number 3, Warriors were 0-2. They were looking at 0-3. They were down 10 in that game to Chicago. Hits the big 3 there. And, of course, the 2 big free throws a month later against the Toronto Raptors there to give the Warriors a big victory. So far this season, 15 against the LA Lakers. And then 11 Thursday night, including that big 3 against the Clippers. He's also 9 for 10 from the free throw line. And, Darrell, people forget, Damian Lee towards the end of the season, a season ago, was out due to COVID. They could have helped. Damian Lee, they could have used him.
Yeah, they definitely missed him. He was out for a while as well and wasn't able to compete with his guys. I think was a big loss for that team. But Damian Lee, we all know he hits big shots. He feels comfortable. He looks comfortable out there. And, you see Steph throwing that ahead. That's high IQ basketball plays, knowing Steph is going to come right back to it. So super excited and happy for D. Lee to find his way.
He's a big-time NBA shooter, and he knows that's his strength. So when the ball gets him and he's open, there's no hesitation. He catch and shoots it, and if they do close out on him, he makes a quick decision to move the basketball. We saw that first three-point shot in the corner. That was a relocation 3, just like Steph Curry. And the next time when Wiggins kicked it out to him, contested, but his confidence is so high, he didn't even see the defender. Raised up and knocked down 2 big 3-pointers. Strong start to the season for D. Lee, and they'll need him to step up tonight as they'll be without Andre Iguodala due to left hip soreness. We'll get to that a little bit later here in the pregame show, but the Warriors are having fun right now. They're 2-0. They beat the LA teams. And Klay Thompson, we know, has not been happy about not making the 75th anniversary team. And they pulled a prank on Klay yesterday, saying, you know what? You're the 77th best player all time in NBA history. They've had a little fun with that. Let's go to Kareth Burke here via WebEx by Cisco. And Kareth, good evening. A Warriors reporter, Kareth Burke, of course, here on Warriors Pregame Live. And look, Darrell and Mully won't tell me any pranks that they went through in the NBA. So tell us a little more about this prank. I need to know the details.
Okay, well, you remember that Klay was actually mad, like big mad that he didn't make this top 75 list. So what a beautiful way for his teammates to show, Klay, you're number 77 in our book. And you know what? There's a little bit of a mystery here. I tried to get to the bottom of who actually created this number 77 jersey. My sources say it was not Eric Hausen, the team's director, the director of team operations, the guy in charge of the jerseys. It might be a teammate, but nobody has come forward yet, and Klay is not in Sacramento to ask. So whoever this amazing prankster was, excellent job operating in mystery. And of course, Klay was in on the joke too. It's a lot of fun to see him celebrated. And you know what? A sense of humor is something that Steve Kerr noticed in the locker room too.
Well, you have to have humor with everything, and his teammates obviously got that done to have a laugh with him. But I think all these guys, they're so competitive by nature. They wouldn't have made it this far if they weren't really competitive. And at some point, guys, latch on to things to drive them. Klay's accomplished pretty much everything. He's a multi-time champion, multi-time All-Star, one of the great three-point shooters ever. He's already competitive, but, if that's what it takes to make him more competitive, then we'll take it.
And I know some people are wondering why number 77. Remember, Andre in the weight room had the same question. Well, on that top 75 list, the voting actually had 76 players because there was a tie. So small print, it was a list of 76. Therefore, because Klay didn't make the list, guys, he was number 77. And also something to watch for tonight, the rookie, Jonathan Kuminga, said maybe he would have the honor of wearing that number 77 as he watches the game on the bench. So take a look for that. The whole team getting involved to make Klay feel a little better.
Well, Klay Thompson won't let Jonathan Kuminga drive his car. At least he could do is let him wear that number 77 jersey. Speaking of breaks, I couldn't get nothing out of you guys, and thanks, Kara, for that one. We'll talk to you a little bit later. I got to get something. Popcorn in the car? Darrell, you got something juicier, right?
Nah, I got to leave it there. The popcorn in the car is by far one of the worst things ever. It's never happened to me, but from all I've heard, trying to get that popcorn out of there is the worst, especially the kernels.
Yeah, I can't remember that far back, man.
Oh, come on,
but I'm going to comment on this situation with Klay, Draymond, and Iguodala and Steph. This is the culture that they've built, the chemistry that they have amongst each other, which teams are dying to create. And the Warriors have it. They have it off the floor, and you see it on the floor. And they're so far ahead of schedule from where they were last year. It's really exciting to see this. And as Kareth mentioned, players have a way of just drumming things up to motivate them. Clay's going to take this and take it out on the rest of the league.
No doubt. What's going to motivate you, Bully? They left you off that list, man. I'm still ticked off about that.
You know what?
Another year to win a championship in a full 162-game season. You all right over there, my man?
I think they needed me, Monte.
Yeah, they needed you. Could you pitch?
Me. I can't pitch.
Bully,
I can hit.
Dodgers are done.
Told you they should have never left Brooklyn. Told you, man.
Oh, man.
So, Darrell, who you got, man? You got Astros or Braves now?
Come on, man. Is that a trick question? I'm going with the Braves. I'm not going for nobody that cheat.
Dusty Baker around here, baby.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. Let's go, Dusty.
Come on, Dusty.
Take him down.
Go, man.
Oh, man. Dave Roberts. Yeah, I'm down with Dusty.
I'm way down with Dusty.
I'm down with Dusty.
Same.
Ron Washington with the Braves, third base coach.
Yep.
Not bad. This is
him.
going to be a fun World Series here as we take a look at the Kings' projected starting lineups presented by Ford. And Davion Mitchell will come off the bench. We'll break him down a little bit later in the show. But De'Aaron Fox, can he be an all-star? He's stepped his game up each and every season. This is year number 5, and he's gotten better. Tyrese Halliburton, first-round pick from a season ago out of Iowa State. He's a pretty damn good point guard as well. This Kings lineup, you can't sleep on them, D, right?
No, this is a great lineup. Some young, talented players, a lot of length, a lot of athleticism. They're going to be up and down. So you got to slow these guys down in transition, and you have to keep them off the offensive glass.
One of the top backcourts in the league. And like you said, they're going to have Davion Mitchell coming off the bench. Rashawn Holmes, a very underrated big man. Harrison Barnes off to an incredible start. And Mo Harkless, St. John's product. Very good role player.
You had to say that.
Yes, sir.
St. John's product, of course. Let's bring in Katie Hunter Christensen here onto the show. And, of course, she just got a promotion. She's doing a fantastic job as a color analyst for the Sacramento Kings. Katie, congratulations.
Congrats, Katie.
How you settling in so far?
Oh, you know what? It takes a while. As you guys know, it's kind of like whenever you're in the media and you're on the sidelines, whatever your job you're doing, it's kind of like playing to me. It takes a while to get your legs under you. Obviously, I have the honor of working with both Mark Jones and Kyle Draper, so it's nice to be alongside, great professionals. But I'm settling in, but talk to me again in November. We'll see how it feels.
Katie, congratulations. It's Chris Mullin. Kings off to a nice start, but especially one of our favorites from the Warriors days is Harrison Barnes. Off to a tremendous start, averaging 30 points, knocking down almost 58% of his threes. Is it just Harrison Barnes? Is their ball moving? What's the difference in this early start, Katie?
Offensively as a whole, obviously the Kings played well during the preseason, but they weren't playing their regular guys huge minutes. Harrison is the ultimate professional, as you guys know. He comes into the season ready and raring to go, and to me, he's already in mid-season form. But the Kings offense as a whole, I don't think is anywhere close to that right now. It hasn't really been clicking on all cylinders through these first 2 games. As you know, De'Aaron Fox kind of getting a slow start to this season. Tyrese Halliburton played well in the last game, obviously in a new role in that starting position. But Harrison is the guy that Luke Walton has always been able to rely on, to step in and do whatever is asked. I mean, he's playing on both ends. The other night, he finished out that game against the Utah Jazz playing at the center spot. My personal opinion is that Harrison is at his best and able to utilize all of his skills at that 3 spot. But with the Kings, he'll be in the 3, 4, and 5, depending on the lineups. And you know what? He's going to give you everything you want. Rebounds, scoring, whatever Luke Walton is asking, Harrison Barnes figures out a way to come up with it.
Hey, Katie, it's Darrell Wright. I want to know, do you think this year is the year for De'Aaron Fox to have a breakout season and become an all-star and also be known on a national level?
I really do. From what we saw last season, particularly the way that he closed out the last 29 games of the season, he was really something special. Now, he's had a slow start to the season, which I mentioned earlier, but I think that has a lot to do just kind of with the Kings as a whole and trying to work in some new guys, some new looks. But for me, I think the thing with De'Aaron is the weight that he added in terms of muscle, specifically in his upper body during this past season. I'm sure you guys heard the story. He posted a picture of himself working out on Instagram, and a day or 2 later, he got drug tested. The league came knocking on his door. So that kind of is a compliment, in my opinion. He put on a lot of weight and muscle, and I think that really helps him with his, obviously, maneuverability and able to handle contact in the lane, which is obviously an asset with him with that speed and quickness off the bounce. But I think the two things that he needs to do more consistently to really break that barrier, you guys, is to shoot that three-ball a little bit better with more consistency and be able to knock down free throws at a higher rate. So I think he's there. He's on the cusp. We'll see how he plays. The first month or two of this season will be a really good indication if he's going to get there.
All right, Katie, have a great call tonight. Best of luck and congratulations again. Should be a fun one up there at the Golden One Center. Katie Christensen-Hunter on the call there with the Sacramento Kings. And Andre Iguodala's out with left hip soreness. So JTA, is he the guy to step up for the Golden State Warriors? Who fills the minutes? We'll see about that. But right now, let's give a little credit to Davion Mitchell, courtesy of our friends at Provident Credit Union. They call him off night because when you go up against Davion, you're going to shoot like Dame Dollar and Donovan Mitchell did. Look at Dame Lillard, 8 for 24, 0 for 9 from the three-point line. And Donovan Mitchell, 6 of 14 against Davion Mitchell. This guy's tough. Let's hear from Davion on what he does defensively and the challenge tonight against Steph Curry.
I watch a lot of film, especially at home by myself, especially the guys that I know I'm going to be on the whole night. I know a couple nights ago I was watching Jordan Clarkson. I mean, I try to watch the whole game. I try not just to watch the clips, but last night I watched Jordan Clarkson isolation clips because he likes to get in ISO situations. Donovan Mitchell, his ISO clips. So I kind of try to take some away. I mean, I know they both love getting to their right hand, so I tried to take that away throughout the whole game. And as far as Sunday, it's going to be a great preparation for us as a team because Steph is not a guy that is ISO ball. He's always off the ball, and there's things that I need to work on off the ball defense. So I'm gonna be chasing him all night. I just can't fall asleep on him.
First round pick of the Sacramento Kings, Davion Mitchell out of Baylor, won a national championship a season ago. Quick, can handle the rock, but he's known for his defense, and he gives a lot of guys an off night here, and he's already making his presence felt in the NBA.
A mature young man. He already says he watches a lot of film, so he comes in with the scouting report down, but physically he's able to play one-on-one here in the mid-post against one of the best scorers in the league, Dame Lillard. Takes away his airspace, gets nice and tight. Here Dame comes middle. Great contest without fouling. I mean, this is just big-time one-on-one defense. So, obviously, his strength is guarding on ball, Darrell.
Yeah, and right here, being a smart defender, reading this and seeing that his man just got caught up on the screen, so he goes in the post. And once you tell all big men, never bring the ball down, Gobert got caught slipping, swipe right down and got a steal.
We always talk about feel on the offensive. He's got a great feel as a defender. He knows where everyone's going, where his help is. Here, gets into Donovan Mitchell, forces him left to the help. Beautiful communication here for a young guy. Tell him I got the switch. I got Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year last year. Forces him left, gets back right, forces him again to a switch. Shot clock violation. That's a combination of beautiful physical defense and IQ together.
High IQ. And right here, one of the best scorers in the league, taking the challenge. He's on him like glue. Get it tied up. Donovan Mitchell's like, what's going on? Starts the break, throws a nice little oop up. But I love what he said in that press. Look at this right here again. Let me get that, please.
What's Donovan Mitchell thinking?
He the real deal.
Deal with it?
Deal with it.
You know what Davion Mitchell's saying? Steal with it. Steal with it. Let's go. We're going the other way.
Off night. So what does Steph Curry have to do to kind of shake this guy off? Because we know Steph Curry will run off the ball here. But this guy, Davion Mitchell, it looks like he could fight through screens really well. So how do the Warriors unlock Stephen Curry tonight against Sacramento?
He said it. Just run him off a bunch of screens, tire him down. It is one of those games you tell Draymond Green, Looney, hey, we want to hit him every single time. We want to put him in as many picks, to wear him down as we can. And then I guarantee you Steph Curry will have a big night.
Davion Mitchell is really, really impressive for a young player.
Yeah.
Because defense is the hardest thing to pick up, especially against the star players. He's played against Dame and Donovan Mitchell. Tonight, a whole different animal with Steph Curry. So to me, with Steph off the basketball, it incorporates more people. He seems very comfortable with Davion Mitchell playing one-on-one on the ball. Let's see how he deals with Steph off the ball with back screens and multiple players involved where there's more communication and more areas to cover.
Well, we saw the Clippers be physical with Jordan Poole, who had an off night Thursday against the LA Clippers. Jordan Poole's probably going to see Mitchell as well, Malik. How does he combat the physicality of Davion Mitchell?
I think what you have to do, especially Jordan Poole against a Davion Mitchell top defender, don't over dribble.
Yep.
Be efficient, 1, 2, 3 dribbles, get by him, and make the quick decision because he's going to pursue the basketball.
I love what Mully said. You got a straight line drive. Can't play with the ball in front of guys like that. He reminds me a lot of Adrian Bradley when he first came to the league. We remember what Jameer Nelson told him, like, come on, young fella, watch out. You know what I mean? He reminds me a lot of that. So you can't play with the ball around him. Get to your spots, raise up, or get by him and try to get him in foul trouble.
We haven't seen a guard win DPOY since 1996 when Gary Payton did it. This guy looked like a future DPOY with the way he's playing defense, Willie.
He does because he has the physical, athletic attributes, but also has the mind already. In the scouting report, watching film, he's getting guys' tendencies down. So he's ahead of the curve for sure.
Will it be an off night for Stephen Curry? We will see shortly up at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. Warriors taking on the Sacramento Kings, looking to improve to 3-0 in the next 2 weeks.